better on you than they do on me.
Open the floor for questions for Coach.
There's a point where you guys were up 14, lead goes down to 6, kind of a lull there. Another game where multiple guys stepped up and made critical plays down the stretch. Is this kind of another example of what this team has become and how different it is that they won a game like this where they're expected to win and finish the job and found ways to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let me give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson. He's continued to get those guys to compete at a high level, and, they're in a heck of a stretch right now with makeup games, playing a lot of games in a short amount of time, travel back to Minneapolis where I know they had over a foot of snow, where they got stranded in Maryland for an extra day, so their preparation probably wasn't a lot going into this one, but those guys keep coming, and we saw that especially in the Illinois game and the Penn State game. Maryland is just obviously rolling at home right now, so we knew this team posed some problems. A lot of it was because of their size, and when Blaze when we heard the severity of his injury, we knew Oleg was going to have to give us some minutes out there. Wilhelm was phenomenal tonight. And, those guys continue to step up when their name is called. Oleg's case, not having played in a while in a meaningful game. And, Denham went out there and gave us good minutes on Battle. So, we need everybody right now with all that we're facing. And, the thing that I've been most impressed with this group is they don't panic. And, we had an opportunity to put it away a couple times, but Minnesota hit a few threes, and they got a loose ball and hit a 3 off it. Now it's 6, but we came down and we executed, and we were able to continue to get the ball to the right guy and finish the job, and make enough free throws there down the stretch. I thought Sam, what do we call him? Sam H, I guess. I thought he made some really good plays, loose balls, got out in transition and made his free throws. So, just, again, really pleased. Jamarcus was great early. CJ I thought was excellent all game long. But, again, just everybody that stepped on the floor contributed, and that's what it's all about.
Last 4 games, 13, 15, 16, 21 points off of turnovers. Obviously, some of that is you've converted the turnovers into points, but what have you guys figured out defensively in the absence of Bandamel and Gary that's been working these last 4 games?
Yeah, I thought we had good hand activity, and obviously we're trying to do everything we can to protect Derek early in games especially, and that's where the double teams are coming. And I thought we had good physical chest to chest double teams when we came with hands, and that created some deflections, and that's what got us out into transition, and that's what built us a little bit of a lead early in the game, and we thought that was very important to jump out these early games. Get off to a good start. We built that thing up to 9 or 10, and that's kind of where it stayed all game long, between 6 and, when we got up for the one small little stretch at 14. But, I think stayed around 10 all game. And that early stretch we had where we were able to create some easy baskets and transition was, I thought, imperative for the way that we needed to come out and play this game.
Do you feel like you guys confused them on something? Because sometimes it looked like they were just thrown into a trap. Not like a literal trap, but that a guy would step in front. It seemed like they were a little thrown off guard by what you guys were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're very confusing on defense, but I thought, again, it's all about the activity level, and if you have good hands and you go in there and if you have a soft trap, it's easy to spray it out. If you come with high hands, you make a looping pass, you have much better chance to rotate. Our first half rotations I thought were really crisp, not quite as good in the second. We adjusted, didn't double quite out as far on the floor. But again, as important as Derek is for our team, we have to protect him, and we have to send double teams. And, point to Blaze, who has been terrific when we've gone with that big lineup. You look at his analytic splits, he's been as good as anybody. So, with him off the floor and then playing Payne, Garcia in Battle, and they've played Ola Joseph at the 2 at 6'8", that poses problems. We obviously aren't the biggest group right now, but our guys compete and they fight like hell, and that's what's been fun.
A lot of attention to Casey and Derek for them defensively. It seemed like Sam really kind of took the game over. Priesel took the game over in the second half, 13 of his 19, with a lot of takes to the rim. What did you see from him? Was that kind of by design to let him kind of be the initiator with that offense?
Yeah, Derek had a career game the first time around in Minneapolis, and they did a really good job, I thought, of staying in front of him and making him finish over length, and he struggled in that area today. He still made some big plays for us, but they made life very hard on Derek, and then they really stayed attached to Casey. It was good to see him hit a couple, in transition. He had a great couple cuts to the basket and made some free throws. He was cramping up again. We got to figure that thing out. But, Sam was awesome. And, we had Casey actually set some screens. As much as they stayed attached to him, that's what allowed Sam to get downhill and get to the basket.
During this streak, because earlier in the year I kind of struggled in stringing these big wins together. It'd be a win then a loss. What have you seen that's sort of been different in the last 4 games or so?
You know what? It's a team that stayed together very well. It's got leadership that I think is important when you're trying to string games together like this. Griesel obviously and Derek are huge in that area. I know the guys talked a lot about in the press conference a couple days ago about Emmanuel still leading and talking to his team. So that's where it starts. If you have good leadership out there and, you win a couple in a row, now you can do it. And I think that gives confidence to your players. We're going to have a hell of a challenge on Tuesday. We know that. It's going to be very emotional for our seniors. I still remember my senior day. I got my butt beat and still bothers me to this day. So, it's emotional. You got to find a way to put it behind you, after you go out there and you get introduced with your family and your parents who spend so much time and they're the reason that I think the people in this position are where they are because of your parents, and you're out there in center court with them. And, it's going to be emotional for Sam, especially, being from here. It was for me when in my hometown in Ames. Derek, it shouldn't bother him. It's his third one. But, it's Manuel, and, it's going to be an emotional day. But we got to find a way after that to put it behind us and come out and compete, because I know Michigan State's going to come in here and be ready to go.
Jamarcus' start, especially with the struggles that he's been going through offensively?
Yeah, it was great. It was great to see Jamarcus step up. He's been working his tail off, getting in the gym, getting a lot of shots. We've really been working on his lift. Yeah, I think he's a little bit flat, really getting through the hips, being his power source. And I saw great rhythm early in his shots. And unfortunately, he missed some free throws, and I thought it took him out of that rhythm. He makes those free throws. He might have gone for 20-plus. Tonight, still almost makes those free throws. He's at 14 at halftime. So, I thought he just, got us off to a great start. It's what we needed, and stepped up there without any fear. And it was good to see him make some threes.
Casey and Oleg's parents made their trip around the world to be here this week. Just how special is that, knowing how they haven't seen their families in a while?
Yeah, it's really special, to be able to play in front of your family. My daughter actually was on the Tomanaga's flight from Chicago yesterday, and she said, "This is really Casey's dad?" I said, "Well, yeah, it is. Kind of like our boys; they got their mother's height." And but yeah, it's pretty special for those guys to be here for the first time, and. Casey being introduced and getting an incredible ovation, and every time he hits a shot, the crowd goes nuts. And they put them. I saw one time the crowd was going crazy. I didn't know if it was. I don't know if I can mention his name. Don't. Okay. And then I can't mention Mr. Tomanaga's name. Okay, yeah, but when his picture was up there, it was pretty awesome, and it's when your family's able to come over and witness probably the best stretch that we've had here in a while. It makes it great. So we're gonna have dinner with both families tomorrow night, and they'll be here obviously for the one more game on Tuesday before they head home.
There's so much going on in the stadium, the crowd going crazy. How do you guys get back to just basketball in that moment?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job of that after Maryland. That was my message after the game was, I'm proud of them, love how we continue to come out and fight, but we got to get over it quickly. Now, this is a short turnaround. We've had some time between the last couple games with a bye week this week, to exhale, and but I'll tell you this, our preparation was outstanding. And sometimes you look at a record, I know teams probably have done that with us the last couple of years, but you got to come out and compete every time you step on the floor in this league. And again, in talking to the guys, I said we're not going to come down and have a letdown. We're going to come out with great energy, and that's what they did, and that's what it's going to be about. I said the preparation the next 2 days are as important as any 2 days we've had all year, but I promise you this, with the group, the way they work, I know they will come into the gym tomorrow. We'll go at 11:30, and they will be ready to move past this one and move on to Michigan State. And it's obviously you want to finish off your home season in a great way. I can't believe how fast this has gone. Some years feel like 2 years. This thing has just flown by. And we got one more home game, and it's important for our seniors to enjoy it, have fun with it, and go out and play well.
Anything else, Coach? Yep.
I'm here to cover Casey, Japanese media.
Yep.
And I have 3 questions.
Sure.
I don't know if you remember you talking to me last season.
I do.
Thank you. And you mentioned that he would be he would have a chance for NBA with his shooting ability. What do you think of that now? And if you still think so, what is the biggest challenge for him to be actually challenging the NBA?
Well, I don't think Steph Curry has tweeted at very many people in college basketball this year. So, that's pretty awesome when your idol, sends a message out for the world to see of your millions and millions of followers. And, I'll say this, you look at what the league is all about right now, analytics, shooting, floor spacing, those players are so good. There's more room in the NBA, there's more space. And if you can shoot it at a high level, you're going to have a chance. The biggest challenge for Casey is the size. And, that's something where, some guys have made it if they're specialists. So, and we've talked a lot about this. Casey is more than just a shooter. You see his cutting and his IQ and the way he competes. So I think strength and body and, those are things that he'll have to continue to work on. But from a straight shooter, the stretch that he's on now, I think this is 6 in a row in double figures, and he just continues to get better every time he steps on the floor. So never count out a competitor, never count out a guy that can make shots, and that's what Casey can do.
2 more questions. What do you
That
love?
was 3.
What do you love about Casey as a player and as a person?
Yeah, I love everything about Casey. First of all, as a person, he's as genuine a kid as you're going to find, and he's got so much attention around him right now for the way he's playing and the crowd, how they react to him, and he's very humble through it all. His head never gets big. He doesn't he's not a social media guy. You don't see him posting every little thing that's said about him, and I love that about him. He just goes out and goes to work. He's going to be in the gym tomorrow twice, practice, and then he'll come back for an extra session. And as a player, what he's doing right now speaks for itself, but, I think more as a person, I've just absolutely loved coaching him and loved getting to know him, and, he's got a heck of a future in front of him.
What is his biggest improvement this season?
I think defense is the area where he has improved the most. And, when you go from junior college to major college basketball, Power 5 basketball, that is the biggest adjustment. And, he struggled at times with that last year, but he's competing. He's really good at chasing guys off screens. That's really where we try to get him matched up this year. And he's made a big jump there. And off the dribble. I think off the dribble he's been really good this season. All right. Thank you, guys.